Welcome to the 5G podcast.
We're glad you're here.
We hope you enjoy our conversation about God, guns, games, goals, and gastronomy.
Now sit back, relax, and enjoy this week's episode.
Should we run it down? We've got...
Not put our arms on the couch just for Ryan.
Yes. We've got 80 minutes on the clock. Lots to talk about.
Boom, boom.
Week.
All right. The first thing, I just wanted to throw this one out there because I think it's hilarious. I don't know if you've seen anything about it.
I have not. You put this bullet point on. I was like, I have no idea what this one is.
It's very, very funny to me. So, how do we've talked about Warhammer 40,000 quite a bit.
Yeah.
Tabletop RPG style battle royale, like
grim, dark fantasy future. Yeah.
Just.
It's a brutal universe.
Yes, exactly. But one of the things that they do, they like worship techno stuff. It's like kind of weird.
Yeah.
It's very like Knights Templar meets like Star Wars.
Yeah.
Like in terms of their
medieval fantasy in space.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. Exactly. But they have these things called purity seals, which are these like ribbons or like parchment looking things that they have a big old wax seal of the emperor or their sigils of the different chapter of Space Marine that they are, or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. It's usually like a skull or whatever, right? Yeah. On this wax seal that they've stuck onto their cool power armor, right? Yeah. And Russia is doing that now
in real life.
In real life,
mm-hmm. Russia.
So it's really funny because it's so Warhammer. It literally, like, they copy-pasted. They have these ribbons that are a durable, paper-esque product, right? Yeah. Similar to, like...
a nylon or something?
It's more like the cotton paper mix that we use for, like, dollar bills type thing, right?
Okay.
So it looks like parchment almost. Yeah. Or like, and they've printed some of the Psalms from the Bible on them.
Dude. All right.
And they have a stamp on them that is a Velcro patch that looks like a wax seal, but it's a patch, right? Yeah. That has Velcro on the back side of it, and they are all blessed in the military chapel in Moscow.
Yeah, wow.
And then sent to the front lines in Ukraine,
dude.
And they're wearing them. Like
the wax seal isn't just like a big face of Putin, though, is it?
No, I think it's like the Russian Orthodox cross or whatever.
Yeah, that's what my actual guess.
Yeah, and there's like soldiers wearing them.
Wow.
And apparently Ukrainians are now like
cheesed.
No, like trophy hunting.
Oh.
Like that's like the trophy now.
It's a mini game now.
Yeah, it's like it's a side quest of how many purity seals can you collect.
I can see that. Yeah, but I mean, again, war's not funny, but that is a video game. That's literally the Warhammer.
I mean, we're turning into Warhammer 40K. I mean,
that's
like
what's
have
next?
You seen what happens in Japan?
Oh, the mech suits.
Well, I did see that. No, but the Shinto priests.
No.
Blessing the F-35s as they roll off the production line.
I have not seen that.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, there's a picture of a Shinto like priest blessing. I don't know what their blessing symbol looks, right? But like, yeah, they're like blessing. They're sitting there like blessing this F-35,
dude,
and it's got like the all the paintings on it, and it's like
before or after the like anime cat girls get spray painted on the side. I gotta know, like. Did it come pre-blessed?
Well, and then have you seen Greece and their fighters?
No.
So they have like the old, I don't know if they're flying like Dassault Rafales fighters or like Typhoons or what. They're like an older fighter, like F-15, F-18-esque era, right? Maybe a little bit newer than that, but anyway. But they've started painting like the stained glass in their Orthodox Catholic churches.
Okay.
On the bottom of the fighter planes.
Oh.
So that when they like turn, you just see this like basically like the Mother Mary in like stained glass or like the Jesus pulling the cross picture.
Okay. Just like
and then there's missiles next to that. And it's like that's kind of metal.
Okay, yeah, that's
well, and sorry, this was way longer of a tangent than I wanted it to go. There's also these soldiers in Ukraine are painting their body armor with holy, like Orthodox symbols, paintings, and things like that, like scripture, like very Warhammer, and then like putting it in. There's actually a company that it's like a charity or like a war funding effort, and you can actually buy dot plates that have like the crucifixion scene, like painted on them, but there's a massive bullet hole from a
just like
AK in it.
Bible verses, like the Lord is my Savior.
It's like I looked at someone like, dude, that's pretty sick.
Just like hang up on the mantle or something.
Oh, for sure.
It's pretty cool.
Anyway, I just thought like we're just turning into Warhammer, which is like cool, but also funny, but also like yikes,
a little bit scary if we're considering what the rest of the Warhammer universe entails.
Yeah, but I think we've adopted like the cool aspects of it, at least, right? Where it's like
parts,
the kind of like religious metal, like vibe. I don't know.
Yeah, why not have the big old like purity seal, like for the Emperor.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good vibe.
It's very funny. I think it's hilarious.
That is fun.
Anyway, that's my little Warhammer 40K. You know,
it's good. It's good.
I thought it was quite a funny and interesting little thing.
Yeah. But next topic of the week. There was drama.
2 dramas.
On multiple fronts.
2 dramas.
2 whole dramas. Man, I just...
This is more your world almost, because it's World of Warcraft for one of them, and then pseudo World of Warcraft for the other one almost.
But like, it's just online
silliness,
rage bait. I mean, it's so goofy. The pirate software one was the one I heard about first. I think that was earlier in the week.
Yeah, it was definitely first.
It seems so dumb that like real life people are talking about this, but they are. Like not just video game people. But to be fair, there's a lot of video game people. The guy, Pirate Software, is a big streamer. He's been
one of the biggest, I think.
Yeah, and he's in the World of Warcraft hardcore. Is like surprisingly doing really well for content, because they're kind of dramatizing the whole adventure of this guild, OnlyFans,
which is a great name.
Hilarious. And so that's why it's like big news. Not that World of Warcraft is anything great, or like, hardcore just means you have permadeath. So they kind of invented their own like reality TV show almost. That's evolving as the like guild progresses through hardcore. Pirate Software wasn't the guild leader, but he was, I think, the biggest streamer in the guild.
For sure. So, well, isn't Summit 1G in there?
I think so, yeah. I think he's the guild leader.
I don't think so, because he's not the one who kicked. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Anyway,
they're popularizing and dramatizing their guild. They're getting views, they're getting clicks.
Yeah.
Like they're actually, even people who don't know anything about World of Warcraft know about this.
And I think this situation has helped them gain more
popularity.
Attention.
Yeah.
So
inadvertently.
Yeah.
He supposedly, in a nutshell, let a guild member die, which again is a big deal because it's permadeath. And then you gotta restart, level up from 0 again. Isn't that all that happened? I don't remember any more details.
So the controversy is that there was like this raid that happened or whatever, and then one of their guys, there was some poor decisions made on a lot of people's parts, and someone died, and everyone was like blaming him.
Yeah.
Or at first it was like, oh well, we all had some blame to take, and he was kind of like, well, I mean, like, yes, but also like, I did what everyone told me to do, and then I wasn't able to do what you were telling me to do after that. And then
to a certain point, it's like, hey, you guys didn't heal me or whatever. Like,
well, so he was the mage or whatever.
Oh yeah.
And they pulled this boss, and then they weren't doing well, and so the call was made to like disengage and run away and like restart, basically, like exit the dungeon. And then so he's like, well, all right,
turn around,
running away, right? So he starts running away, and
that guy didn't make it, probably.
Well, they pulled more mobs or more bosses or whatever, and like someone died, and they like someone had re-engaged and someone had accidentally aggroed another thing that came in and attacked them, and like
Gap
all
in
the
communication.
yeah. And it was like a big thing, and so he was like way far away from them, and they were still like fighting, and he's like, oh, I thought we were running. And so he couldn't really do anything to like
too far.
help.
No.
And so they were all pissed at him for like running away.
Call was made to full retreat.
Yeah. But it came to a head where it was like hundreds of people were, or maybe not hundreds of people, but a lot of people made videos about it. You know, I think Asmongold had like an hour and 20-minute long video about the whole situation. He was calling people and, you know, giving his 2 cents or whatever, because he's a esteemed World of Warcraft player.
He's big in that community because he used to play a lot.
Yeah. But yeah, and ultimately Pirate Software got kicked from the guild that he was in, and he is no longer playing World of Warcraft apparently.
Yeah.
And his mods are under instructions to block anyone who talks about it on all of the platforms.
It's hilarious. Hey, remember that one time? Bang.
Yeah. Well, it's like, I understand where he's coming from a little bit.
Yeah.
Where it's like, you just get so sick of talking about it that like...
You said your piece, defended yourself. Like, yeah.
And like, you know, if you are staunch in your beliefs of what happened, and you've already been punished for those beliefs, you don't need to be like socially punished anymore.
No, yeah.
So it's like, well, screw that. And if you have the power to change the, like, yeah, for sure, just block everyone.
And it is just a video game.
Yeah, that's like the biggest thing where it's like, all right, guys, like
all of these guys may not be as big as Pirate Software, may not be big streamers, but like losing a character in hardcore sucks. But like, you guys have enough of a following, you can get experience boosted really easy. You've got your whole guild, so you can go gear up, get most of your old gear relatively easily. Like, I don't know. If that's your lifestyle, a week or two, you'll be back on top.
Yeah.
As opposed to the average player would be like, I'm done. Like, it would take me months to get back to where I was at.
Yeah, for sure.
So
yeah, I just think it's very funny. It's a very funny situation.
It is. You're like, dang.
And there's like, the internet is split, like, oh, Pirate Software is in the right. He cannot do anything wrong. And then the other half is like, well, he didn't do the XYZ, blah, 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 blah.
Like,
I don't have an opinion.
No, I don't either. It's fun.
I honestly don't really have an opinion about Pirate Software in general.
No, yeah, not particularly.
Like, some of his content is funny, and like, he says some stuff where I'm like, I agree with this. And then other stuff he says, I'm like, I disagree with this. You know? But anyway.
Yeah. It's funny because, as you said, it's like, this probably ultimately got them more popularity, more clicks, more attention
for sure it did.
To OnlyFans and World of Warcraft hardcore. So
it did indeed.
It is cool to think, like, millennials, right? Like, our internet dramas 1v1 me in World of Warcraft, bro. Like, we're just back to that. Like,
for real. It's very funny.
Which leads into the next topic. Who's the best gamer in the world, Steven?
It's definitely Elon Musk.
It's Elon Musk. It's got to be.
It's got to be. I mean, did you see him playing Path of Exile 2?
Path of Exile 2. He is the best.
Level 99 or whatever he is.
Yeah.
98.
While his Tesla SpaceX meetings are going on, he's on that grind, bro.
It's very funny. Did you see that they just caught the second rocket booster again?
Oh, no, I didn't.
You know how they caught it the first time in the chopsticks? They just did it again.
Oh, that's cool. Getting better, practicing.
Yeah. The payload blew up, but
hey, you know,
potato.
We caught it. That's all.
Yeah. No. So Elon Musk had a video of him playing Path of Exile 2, and like everyone on the internet was like roasting the guy because he's like level 98 or some stupidly high level, and he doesn't know how to play the game, and like was like not picking up like the most expensive currency.
Yeah.
And like was like, I don't know, just like a bunch of weird little quirks, right? And so like everyone, like a bunch of content creators are like, oh, this guy sucks. And then I think Asmongold reacted to it, reacted to the reaction video of someone else.
As he does.
And was like, yeah, it looks like he had like someone play his account. Which, like, he's a rich guy. He can do whatever he wants.
Yeah,
right?
he doesn't have infinite time in the world. Like, sure, maybe there's somebody playing his account. Why not?
And like, if they are, who cares? Was my take on it, right? But then the funny part is because of that conversation, Elon Musk and Asmongold just like went at it online. Apparently,
Yeah, they both started doubling down on the accusations and the claims. Elon Musk is like, no, I'm the best gamer, and Asmongold is like, no, you're not. Like,
yeah,
the and then drama.
Yeah,
the way to play it, regardless. I heard there was some actual undeniable proof that Elon Musk wasn't playing and it's not his account or whatever. I don't know about that. I don't know if you can really prove that unless somebody comes out and says, yeah, Elon Musk paid me $2 billion to play his account.
Yeah.
But
if he paid you $2 billion and you saw this going on, I'm not saying anything.
No. I didn't even sign an NDA, but I want my next paycheck to come in. So.
Yeah, for real.
And you're playing video games. But my point is, at the start of it, Elon Musk should have just said, yeah, so what? I paid somebody else to level up my account, but I'm playing at the end or whatever. Like, you think I got time to level up with you plebeians? Like, I'm the richest gamer in the world. Like,
yeah,
he should have just played it like a superiority thing that way with his money. Instead, he's trying to be like, no, I'm the top player on the charts. That's actually me. I'm the best gamer. You're like, dude, it's okay if you're not the best gamer. No one cares. Like, you're sending rockets into space. Why are you arguing with a
You have one of the
streamer?
most successful American car companies. You're sending rockets into space. You have a satellite internet company that is doing marvelously. You have a solar company that's not doing as well.
Yeah.
You have a tunneling company that has dug tunnels underneath Las Vegas and Los Angeles. Like,
why are you arguing with a Twitch streamer? Albeit like one of the
you own Twitter, X. You're slated to become the first person in this new Department of Government Efficiency cabinet position or whatever.
Right.
Like,
it's okay.
This is what you're going to spend your time on?
It's okay if you're not the best video gamer, dude. Nobody's asking you. Like,
yeah, you're not the best video gamer, but guess what? You're like the best capitalist ever.
Yeah, you're uber rich.
Like, your name is going to live on with the likes of like Ford and Carnegie and Rockefeller, like Edison.
Absolutely.
Like, when people think of like American entrepreneurs, he's not even American, but like it's going to be, I guess Rockefeller and Carnegie weren't
technically not either. Yeah,
Carnegie was Scottish,
right?
But you know, you have like these people where it's like Rockefeller, Carnegie, Ford, Edison, you know, and then you've got like no one because until like
we had some
Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, and then Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg, maybe
Jeff Bezos
for sure.
I think,
but like
again, you'll get mentioned in the history books.
In the top 10, like American entrepreneurs, capitalists, you're in there, bud.
We talk about Industrial Revolution 100 years ago in history books. 100 years from now, they're going to talk about turn of the century, like big advancements in technology,
and your name's going to be up there. No one like
you like him or hate him.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
He's going to be in history books.
It doesn't. Yeah,
but not because he's the top Path of Exile 2 gamer.
No, it's just ridiculous, right? Just ridiculous.
It's just the Twitter drama or X drama ensued, which is funny. Asmongold lost his blue check mark. He got banned by Elon Musk, and I think supposedly the evidence came out. I don't know. I don't care, but it is funny. Internet do be like that sometimes. It's
really funny because like I was watching Asmongold did like a 1 hour video on it.
I'm sure.
So I was like, I was playing it at 2 times speed and skipping through some of it.
Yeah, just have it on the other screen.
And I was like listening, and he was actually going. He was like very, very. His reaction was very, very metered and very, very like reasonable.
Okay.
He was like, "I'm not taking back what I said. I still like Elon Musk because apparently he's had like conversations with Elon Musk about things, right?
Okay.
Elon Musk has like DM'd him about
Path of Exile.
Streaming on X because he wants X to become a streaming platform as well as everything else, right?
To bring some revenue there, yeah.
And so like they've talked before, and like we're friendly with each other. You know, I mean, Elon Musk has like retweeted stuff Asmongold has said, right?
Okay,
on Twitter or on X, whatever you want to call it. But his reaction was very, very, I don't know if gracious is the right word, but like very, very
professional, I guess,
and thought through before he said anything, right?
Yeah.
He didn't
might have prepared a script for a little bit,
or at least some thoughts, right? Prepared some thoughts and not been overly emotional in his reaction, right?
Yeah.
And he even said, he's like, I still like the guy. Like, I'm not taking back what I said because what I said is what I believe, and you know, unless he can prove otherwise, I'm still that this is the truth.
Yeah.
And he kind of said a little bit what we said, where he's like, I don't know why he feels the necessity
to say
the necessity to defend himself so vehemently about being the best Path of Exile 2 player
when it's like else is playing the game.
Yeah. And like you said, it's like I hadn't thought about that, but you were 100% right. He should have just been like, yeah, I paid someone $100,000 to play my video game for me.
Yeah.
Guess what? Who else can pay someone $100,000 to play their video game for them?
Right.
There's like a handful of people in the world who would ever be able to do that, let alone actually do that.
Back to the previous one. If he was a hardcore WoW streamer and his character died, he'd be like, I'll pay somebody $100,000. It's like, you better be up max level by next week.
Yeah, exactly. And guess what? That person for a week of like sleepless nights is going to make $100,000.
Yes, exactly.
Which like for most people in the world is like way over a year's salary.
And you'd be like, oh, but that's not Elon Musk playing. Who cares? He's rich.
Yeah. Guess what? Rich people can do whatever they want in that situation. If some rich guy said, anyone who's listening to this, if some rich person, if anyone, doesn't matter who they are, if some random person said, hey, you know that video game that you are really good at playing and really enjoy playing? I'm going to pay you $100,000 to get me to max level.
Yep. Give me the best gear. Give me the best stuff.
Yeah. To min-max me everything.
And then
guess what you're going to do? You're going to spend 24 hours a day until you reach that goal, and then you're going to go home and sleep for a day and get $100,000 check in your bank account. And guess what?
For nothing. Well, for playing video games.
You took a week off of regular work.
Yeah.
Played video games the entire time, which, like, if you took a week off of regular work, unless you have a vacation plan, is basically what you're going to be doing anyway. If you're a gamer.
Actually, this is a good idea. Elon Musk or anyone else, if you're watching, please send us. We're pretty good gamers. Please send us any requests.
I'll learn a game. I don't. That's fair. It can be a game I don't play right now, but
it doesn't have to be 100,000. I'll probably do it for less, just to be clear.
For sure. Are you kidding me?
Probably. I mean, for a week or however long. Yeah, we'd figure out the math. We'll talk about it. I'll get my agent on the phone.
No, I'm sticking at 100K.
100K or bust.
Are you kidding me?
I'll complete any game for you and
100K in Bitcoin
and give you the account. Oh, that's smart. Get that in writing in the contract.
Yeah. I also accept Ethereum.
You're like, I don't need this 100K right now. It'll be worth a lot more later.
Can you imagine like just one Bitcoin? I'll accept one Bitcoin.
One Bitcoin. Yes, please. 110, 105?
It dropped down. It actually crashed this past week.
This past week it went below 100?
So last week it went below 100 to like 98 or 99 or something like that. The beginning of this week, it dropped all the way down to like 90. And, which everyone was like, ooh! And yesterday it reached 105 again.
Oh, okay. It's fine.
It had a meteoric rise on Thursday and Friday.
Nice.
It's Thursday night to Friday morning, basically.
Yeah, that's fun.
So, but yeah, so I think it's 100. I think it's sitting at like right around 105 right now or something.
Oh, gotcha.
Something like that.
I want to throw a surprise topic at you.
Do it.
I forgot to mention it. Over the break, I feel like this movie fell under everyone's radars. Sonic the Hedgehog 3 came out like right before Christmas. So it's been like a month already. I was reminded because I actually went to go watch it a second time with my niece who like loves Sonic.
Wait, there's a third one?
Yeah. Of the
What
live
was the
action
second
Sonics.
one?
The second one was Knuckles.
I didn't see that one.
You didn't see? Oh, okay.
I saw the first one and liked it.
The first one was good. It was fun.
It wasn't my favorite movie in the world, but like I enjoyed it.
I think
I'd go watch the second one for sure.
I think they're on to something. This like live action Sonic story, Sonic universe, it's doing pretty good. It's definitely carried by like Sonic is a huge IP. Everyone knows Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah.
Gotta go fast. And then like Jim Carrey as Dr. Eggman, the antagonist, is just the perfect goofball weirdo actor.
Which is what Dr. Egghead is. Like,
yeah. And so he's just phenomenal. And so this one, Idris Elba plays Knuckles, which is really funny. He's just,
voices him.
yeah, this deep like black man. Just
I think Idris Elba's a great actor, actually.
yeah, he's really good.
I think he's very underrated.
Mm-hmm. He was in talks at one point to be the next like James Bond. I'd watch that.
Oh, for like next 007, Idris Elba, 100%. For sure. There was sorry, not to interrupt, but there was a list of people who were like,
the potentials.
or it was like a fan-created list or whatever, and I was like, there's like some solid choices,
good.
and I know 100% that they're going to screw it up and choose.
Pick somebody slightly younger and plan for your next 12 years of James Bond.
Well, I mean, but like, if Henry Cavill wasn't so busy with all this other stuff he's doing, he would be a great. I mean, he was in like Man from U.N.C.L.E.
Yes,
was him, and that was a fantastic movie. He did great in that. It was a spy movie. Ministry of Vengeance and Unlimited Warfare is also a pseudo spy movie.
Definitely, yeah.
He was great in that. So, anyway, continue.
Anyway, so Sonic the Hedgehog 3 introduces Shadow as another antagonist, but he's also a foil. And spoilers for any of the Sonic games, he ends up kind of becoming good. So he has a redemption arc.
Like Knuckles?
But it's Keanu Reeves voices Shadow. And I didn't know that going into the movie, so the first time he talks, he's just like, why do you look like me? As he's like talking to Sonic, and like, that's Keanu Reeves. What is he doing in this
John Wick?
my little sister and I watching it the first time, like, is this John Wick 5? Because like Shadow is like going on this like crazy like rampage through the streets of Tokyo. He's like on a motorcycle, he's got a gun. We're like, this is just John Wick 5. It's so wild. But Keanu Reeves did great. And then Jim Carrey, they decided what's better than one Jim Carrey, two Jim Carreys. So he plays Dr. Eggman's grandfather as a character in the third movie. It's both Jim Carrey. They just made him old and gave him a fat suit.
That's funny.
It was funny. Some of the humor was like a little too slapsticky for me personally, but a lot of the humor was still very clever, very funny. And then you just have Sonic and Tails and Knuckle, and their like brotherhood is fun. Their banter. It's like, all right, Team Sonic on 3, and Knuckles is like, who decided Team Sonic? It was good.
Yeah, that's very funny. I should go watch the second one and the third one.
Yeah, honestly, it was
maybe I have seen the second one.
I vaguely remember the plot. Knuckles, similar to Shadow in this one, is an antagonist at first.
Yeah,
with Dr. Eggman, and then ends up swapping sides. On Sonic, he gets the Chaos Emerald and he goes golden. Okay.
Nope, don't remember that.
That's from the video games. Super sick. He does it again in this one. It's fun. Because Sonic goes golden and he can fly around. Shadow gets the Chaos Emerald and he turns all white. And is like super powerful. So
yeah, I'll have to go see that.
It was a blast. Very enjoyable.
Speaking of Keanu Reeves,
John Wick 5.
The ballerina one?
Oh yeah. John Wick 4.5.
Yeah.
John Wick Cinematic Universe.
Yeah. I saw that they're starting to do some more press releases about it and stuff like that. Okay. And more.
It does come out this year.
Is it Ana de Armas?
Ana de Armas.
And the guy who plays the hotel manager, the continental manager. It's not Willem Dafoe, but he looks like Willem Dafoe.
Yeah, he's
You know who I'm talking about, though.
Yeah, I could have said.
They were doing some
press interviews
together about it, so I was like, I'm excited for that movie.
Sure, yeah. It's the John Wick universe, which is pretty cool, where everyone's an assassin, but nobody knows it.
Yeah.
But I think they can do it well, even without a John Wick. Obviously, they're going to try it out.
I think he's going to be in it still, sort of, but more as like a mentor than a...
Hopefully, yeah, kind of side
character.
He's getting a little older, so...
He's 60?
And he likes doing a lot of his own stunts.
He does all of his own stunts,
He still does all of them, okay.
I believe
I'm not sure if in John Wick 4, if he still did all of them.
I don't know if he fell down all those stairs.
He rolls down that staircase for like 10 minutes, man.
That's a good point.
It's like, please, sir, don't break your back.
I know he does all the fighting stuff and gunplay himself.
He likes the gunplay.
Did you know he owns a motorcycle company?
No.
Keanu Reeves owns a motorcycle
whole
company.
motorcycle
It's a like a high end like Ducati level motorcycle company.
Did not know that.
He also, so you know, he was in the Berserker comics.
Yeah.
They were based off of him, basically.
Mhm.
He went to the. He raced for Toyota in one of the endurance races that they have.
In a movie?
No, in real life. And
What? Where does he find the time to do this?
they invited him, and he said, "Sure."
That sounds like something you'd have to train for.
It was last year.
So he's 50-something doing endurance
No, 60.
racing.
Yeah, he was 60 years old doing like a 6-hour race or something like that.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. I watched a 20-minute video on it this past week, and I was like, this is sick.
I got to get on your feed, man. That's
Michael Fassbender
okay. Yeah,
has been racing for Porsche.
I've heard this one actually. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's because that's
On
just
like their pro team.
that's just like another like pet project of his, just something he likes
Yeah.
to do. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. But like they go in, like this one was more of like a, hey Keanu, you want to like, we have a cool Berserker car, you want to drive it and like
Yeah.
race it? And like he's like, sure.
Celebrity spotlight.
Yeah, and he did, so like that was cool. But like Michael Fassbender's like legitimately competing.
He's a
in-
professional
yeah.
racer.
Yeah. Well, he's an amateur racer
Yeah, amateur.
because
Okay.
this certain series you have to have an amateur racer, a professional racer, and what they call like a silver racer, which is like an older guy,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
So someone who was a racer and then is like
Tired.
older. Yeah.
Interesting.
But-
That's cool. So yeah, he's on their team as the amateur guy.
I like celebrities that do that type of stuff where it's just like I like it when rich people do the side quests.
Yeah, totally.
It's like,
That's fun.
this is what you're supposed to do with money. Is you've made all your gazillions of dollars, you know, like I'm sure Keanu Reeves has hundreds of millions of dollars from all the IPs that he's been in.
Yep. Probably.
Like
The Matrix. I mean, come on.
for John Wick, like
he's
mean-
good. He's got money for life.
for sure. And he's been in like some super successful IPs,
Mhm.
right? Like go do fun stuff with it.
Yeah.
Like
Actors especially, because it's like you can do one movie and then not, if you're that big, do one movie every 2-3 years.
well, think about like Elijah Wood.
Yeah.
He's done what, 3 movies? And it was Lord of the Rings 1, 2, and 3. Like,
Fair point.
I do know the titles, but it was funnier to say 1, 2, and 3.
Uh-huh. And so then it's like, yeah, what are you doing when you're not acting? Like, you're just sitting in your mansion? Like, no, that's boring. Like, go do fun stuff, side quests,
Or like, you know, like
have hobbies.
there are actors like Mel Gibson, for example.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
He was a very prominent actor. He is a very prominent actor. But now he just basically like directs movies and like
Yeah,
writes movies and writes scripts and stuff. And it's like do something creative with your creativity. Like,
Mhm.
I don't know. I see some of these actors and it's like they do one thing and they get, you know, a couple $1,000,000 and it's like, all right, so what have you done since then?
And then they just are terminally online or whatever. You're
Yeah.
like, hey, dude, get off Twitter. Like,
Go do something cool.
yeah.
Like that's why I think like what Elon Musk does is like cool.
Yeah, for the most part, besides this past week of drama.
Well, but like even then it's like I don't like drama is drama, but like
When Path of Exile 2 came out and he was reported, he's like, he was on the grind. He was like
Mhm.
one of the top players from the very beginning. You're like, there was the phone call of him of like aides were talking behind him, like, sir, you have a meeting in 10 minutes or whatever. Like while he's streaming, like while
Mhm.
he's playing, he's like, yeah, all right, whatever. I'll get to that. Like, yeah, that's fun. That's cool.
well and like
It humanizes.
if you've got so much money, it's like he was, you know, the PayPal mafia, right? Made his gazillions of dollars there, millions and millions and millions of dollars. I think it was $175 million
Jeez.
that he got for when he cashed out of PayPal or whatever.
Mhm.
So it's like you could have not worked for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
You could have sat in your huge mansion. You could have bought a $100 million mansion
Still had enough.
and still had $75 million to play around with.
Mhm.
Like, okay. But he decided he wanted to do these other projects. And like, they're cool projects,
Go for
right?
it. Yeah. That's
And
what
they,
it's there for.
you know, these rich people, like wealthy people need to do cool things with their money.
Yeah. Publicize it, sell it, because it's fun. It's fun to hear about.
Well, and it's also like most of the time it's like, yeah, you've created like a business that does X, Y, and Z, right? But like create something that is like cool,
Mhm.
you know? It's like PayPal isn't like cool.
Yeah.
I mean,
useful.
it's useful and it's like innovative,
Mhm.
but it's not cool.
Yeah,
right?
that's true.
It's like, oh, I can send money to someone over the internet.
Ooh. Helpful.
Helpful, for sure. Very good product, right?
But is that as cool as racing cars?
Or building spaceships.
Spaceships, right? Like,
or building the best electric vehicles, or building a super cool tunneling machine.
yeah.
It's like, no.
Fun.
All those are way cooler than, or like even Jeff Bezos with like Amazon. Amazon is a cool thing.
Yeah.
But like Blue Origin, way cooler.
When they're getting the drones to our houses and stuff.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
The future.
Palmer Luckey, you know who that is?
Yeah.
Oculus. Or I guess not Oculus, but no, yeah, Oculus.
Oculus, right?
Yeah, he was the VR guy who started VR, basically.
VR, yeah.
He got bought out by Microsoft or Facebook.
Facebook, yeah.
For a couple $1 billion, and then he started this Anduril company.
Yeah.
The military technology company. It's like,
he's like, sure.
The VR was cool. And now you're doing something even cool, in my opinion, even cooler.
Thing,
yeah. They just bought how big was it? 500-acre facility or site in Ohio to build like a huge production facility.
Huh.
Very cool.
Nice. All right.
Anyway, on rich people do cool stuff with your money.
Yes, please. And Sonic 3, worth the watch.
Oh yeah.
It was fun.
Yeah, I forgot that's how we started that.
Tangent.
Sorry.
Keanu Reeves. So
yes.
I'll
have to go give that a.
We saw it at the Fat Cats. It's probably still in the dollar theaters. I mean, it was good. It was good.
I haven't gone to the movies in so long.
Really?
Yeah, there's not.
It has been kind of a slow season.
I did want to go see that Nosferatu movie.
Oh yeah.
I heard good things about that, but I didn't never see
like
it.
If you like horror, it was kind of horror, but it was more just like drama, suspense.
Yeah, vampire drama.
I heard it was a faithful adaptation of the OG.
Yeah,
1920.
I heard it was a fantastic. I heard the acting. I mean, the cast was just stacked with great actors. Willem Dafoe, the Skarsgård, Bill Skarsgård.
The younger
Skarsgård, right? There was a couple other people who were like good actors.
Yeah.
Kind of underrated actors, but like fantastic still.
Well, that's cool.
But,
all right.
Anyway, I want to go see that.
The one we don't have to jump into it too much. I just heard the Den of Thieves 2 with Gerard Butler came out.
Oh.
I heard it was not that good.
Oh.
Yeah.
I liked number one.
I like number one a lot. I heard this one was just Gerard Butler and then the other guy. I don't know, just like not really doing anything for the whole plot. And then like nobody else. I don't know. There was just nothing interesting about it. It's like, you might as well just go watch the first one.
First one was good.
Yeah.
First one was all right.
And then apparently they didn't advertise that at all because that already came and went.
I didn't even know that it was out. I didn't even know it was a thing, to be honest.
Right. But politics.
Yes. Our non-political podcast, we're going to be talking a little bit about politics because it's interesting this morning.
Current events. If you didn't know, Monday,
yesterday when you watched this.
Before you watch this, it is the Civil Rights Day, federal holiday, and it's also Trump Inauguration Day.
Oh, it is? It's a federal holiday?
Yeah. You can get into Arizona state parks for free.
Guess who still has work?
What?
At least I wasn't told that we don't.
Oh, yeah, okay. It is a federal holiday, like banks are closed, so.
Yeah, well, construction moves on.
Yeah.
I'd probably, even if I did have it off, I'd probably still go, and I have so much to do.
Okay. It's like, unless there's an emergency, don't call me. Federal holiday.
No, I'm trying to cook the books. No, I was kidding.
Oh, okay. It's one of the actual, real, serious holidays, Stephen. Come on, man. Not like President's Day or something like that. I joke because I get President's Day off. I don't know why. But,
I feel like only the president should take it off.
Yeah, right. Take a vacation.
Yeah. It's the only day out of the year besides Sundays that presidents get off or something like that.
I forget they get Sundays off.
Huh?
They get Sundays relatively off unless there's something.
I'm sure. I don't know if they do or not.
I think so. I don't know.
If I were president, I would.
Yeah, I got to go to church, man.
Yeah, for real. Also, do presidents go to church?
I don't think so.
Because I know like some
church
of them
goes to them.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, do like if they're like Catholic, right, and they want to go to
They have
mass,
to go
like, do they like
find a local mass in DC or
well, like there's the National Cathedral, which is in DC, which is
Yeah.
huge and awesome and
or
great.
wherever they're at? I guess. I don't know.
If I were president, I would go to church every Sunday.
Yeah.
Because I go to church every Sunday now. So like, why change anything?
Why would I change it?
Yeah.
Because when you're a congressman, you're all slimy and sleazy, and you have to
Need more confession and repentance.
better reason to go.
Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. It's been a whole 36 seconds since I was a politician and lied.
Right. I hang my politician cap at the door, walk into church.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's
Although okay. Wow. And even almost went on another tangent, but I saved myself
okay, good.
because I do want to talk about the inauguration.
Yes,
It's happening. It happened.
it's happened. We're excited for it.
I'm probably going to watch it on Monday.
Yeah, might as well, even if you're chilling at work.
Yeah, I'll probably. I have 2 monitors.
That'll
I'll
be
throw
fun.
it up on my second monitor.
Throw the speech up. I'm
Yeah.
excited for more Trump mannerisms. Always funny.
I'm very interested to see first term versus second term
Oh yeah.
differences. It'll be very interesting. I think it's going to be. I honestly think that the culture in the world has shifted already because of his election and like the manner in which he won the election.
Definitely just feel it a little bit, yeah, which is cool.
I mean, movies coming out, video games coming out, people saying stuff online, like
online discourse, yeah, it's
very much more normal.
yeah.
Like we've been in this abnormal situation for like 8 to 10 years, 8 years probably.
Yeah.
Trump's first term. Is that maybe only 6 years?
Yeah, so a little bit after, yeah.
Like 2018
Just
through 2024 was like 6 years of like, what the freaking heck?
Just kind of weird. COVID definitely didn't help.
No, it made it definitely worse. Made it
Just
worse.
like media and
Yeah.
everything you said just being different.
But I think now, especially you saw Mark Zuckerberg come out and say Facebook is taking a shift and all this stuff.
Yeah.
You know,
Just like is cool, why now? But sure, all right.
wow, we all know why now. I mean,
I accept your repentance, Mark Zuckerberg.
the winds of change blow ships, you know, and
yeah.
so. But I mean, either way, whether it's for good reasons or poor reasons or just business reasons, like it's a good thing.
Changing. There's a ceasefire in Gaza.
Yes, and there's peace talks happening around Ukraine.
Yeah.
They haven't figured that out yet.
Kind of like the same thing. Winds of change. Like, okay.
Well, I honestly think that it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter what the policies of the president of the United States are. So this is for global policy, right?
Yeah. Global.
I don't think the policies matter for global presence. I literally think that if the United States wants to be the top dog, right? Every single other country on the planet just needs to be afraid that we have a stupid person or a maverick in the White House, and that the red button is just like within arm's reach all the time.
It sounds dumb, but like the vibe is more important than like what does the president actually do? Like,
yeah,
especially on a global scale, or to like me, the individual from Arizona.
Yeah,
like, as we mentioned previously around elections time, like the president themselves doesn't affect you that much. The average American person or the average global person even less so. Like, unless the president can't just sign these swaths of executive orders to totally uproot your life, they can't do that. There's checks and balances.
They try.
They try. So it is more, it sounds dumb, but it is more just like the vibe of the president changes the mood of the media and politics.
Well, and it's also kind of a little bit top-down politics as well, where like the vibe of the president influences the vibe of the congressmen and senators, which influences the vibe of the governors, which influences the vibe of the mayors.
Top down.
You know, trickle-down politics instead of trickle-down economics.
Trickle-down politics.
I think it's true, though.
No, that'll never work, Stephen. Sorry. No, you're right. I do definitely believe.
But I'm very interested. He's made some, and we've seen this past week.
Made some claims?
Well, the nominations that he's made
for his cabinet picks.
have been interesting. I've watched a few of the hearings
confirmation hearings.
For Pete Hegseth,
Yeah.
I can't remember if it's Hegzeth or Hezgeth.
German name,
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
Anyway,
The Secretary of Defense pick.
and Pam, what's her last name? Attorney General nominee.
Yeah.
Now this makes me feel like a sexist because I don't remember her name, but I remember his name.
I know. Yeah.
I just learned her name 2 days ago, so.
And it's probably an easier name than Hegseth.
Anyway, I also saw the not Department of Interior. There was the gay guy, Finance Secretary or something like that, or Treasury Secretary.
Yeah, Secretary of the Treasury.
Whatever it is, yeah. I thought his testimony, or whatever you want to call it, his hearing was like, I think he's a fantastic pick.
Okay. Yeah.
Everything he said and I saw, I was like, this guy is impressive.
I don't think I watched his, yeah.
I would suggest, like, at least watching some of the clips. Like, it makes me feel very, very optimistic for the financial security of the country in the future.
Okay, yeah, I haven't heard too much about him, so
at least what he said, right? But, like, you know.
I liked Hegseth, Secretary of Defense guy, who is like a former military guy. One of the senators was just like asking him a bunch of military questions, which is cool. He knew them all. He was like, what caliber is in the standard issue M4A1? He's like, that is a 5.56, sir. Like, okay, and how many rounds does the magazine hold? And you're like, well, there's different, but the standard issue is 30 rounds. So you're like, it was cool. He not that senator wasn't like purposely trying to, gotcha. He was just like asking him general military questions, and he knew all of them. And very, very confident. It was a cool, confident, professional exchange of like, all right, yeah, you're qualified by my books, and then they went on to the next guy asking questions.
The rest, so he and Pam, whatever her last name is, I think they're fine picks. I actually like Pete as a pick. I think he has some good ideas for how to, and he said some really good stuff during his hearing, and so did she. But there were some questions from antagonistic senators.
Yeah.
That I didn't love the questions and stuff like that, but there were also questions from senators who were antagonistic, but the question itself that they would ask 5 or 6 questions, 3 out of the 5 were like super dumb questions, right?
Right.
Or like very antagonistic, like gotcha questions. And then they'd ask one more question, and it was like a question where it's like, that's a question you can answer.
That is insightful. Like,
yeah. And then nonetheless, these two would answer them in very like defensive and like non-answer ways. And I'm like, no, that one you should answer. Like some of them, it's like, do you believe that this, and this? It's like, yes or no. Do aliens exist?
Like, I just want a yes or no.
What? I can't tell you. Like, what?
I don't. That's dumb.
Like, but then there's other questions where it's like, they say something and it's like, oh, you can answer that yes or no. That is a yes or no question.
Yeah.
And like, even though it's an antagonistic senator, whatever, like, that is a fair question. Some of the questions were fair.
And then it just...
And they didn't answer them well, in my opinion, some of those questions.
I think it's probably... Well, first point. Cabinet confirmation hearings are all political theater anyway. Because, like, they don't need to happen, or at least they don't need to be publicized. But for whatever reason they are.
True.
And then 2, like, put yourself in their shoes. If that's like intentional, is to ask the antagonist questions.
That's fair.
And then you get kind of flustered or angry, and then they ask a simple question. You're like, well, I'm not going to answer your dumb questions. Like,
yeah, that's very fair.
To make you look dumb.
Yeah.
Because now that they're publicized, they're trying to make you look dumb. Whereas if they were just off camera and just had normal hearings, they probably would be normal. They wouldn't ask questions like that. And so, I don't know.
Yeah, ultimately, I'm happy. Yeah, and Marco Rubio is one of the other ones. Yeah, it was actually a Democratic senator who I thought did a very good job. I don't remember her name, but she's from Hawaii, I believe.
Oh, no.
You saw this one then, where she?
I know she's the senator from Hawaii.
Oh,
it's popular, but
opposite sides of the aisle, whatnot, right? But she was complimenting him on when she first got to the Senate, or maybe Congress. I don't remember if she was a congresswoman first. I don't remember. But the first time she was in Washington, she was trying to get it. She was pregnant and like in a having a hard time walking around, and so basically she was struggling with being a senator or whatever position.
The physical demands.
And
of it, yeah.
Marco Rubio was like, came over and like really helped her, and like was like, they had put a thing on the thing, a vote on the floor where it's like, yeah, you can bring your infant child onto the floor to vote, so you can do your job, right?
Yeah.
And he said, and basically like he like was 100% supportive of her the entire time, and so she was very complimentary of that, and she's obviously remembered that because she's been there for a while.
Yeah.
So she's obviously remembered that and has
That's nice.
and complimented him, and I was like, that is a very good way to start your. I don't know. It was nice to see that.
It's cool to see that, because again, it feels like anytime a camera's on, when it's two sides of the political aisle, it's like gotcha moments, like you're dumb. But that was cool to see, like, professionalism.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, no, hold up, like we're people and we're Americans first, and if you're religious, you're a child of God first before you're a Republican or a Democrat. Like,
there are so many things that I would put before my political beliefs title.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Like, so that just like you have a new colleague coming in who's like a pregnant or like has a newborn, you're gonna help her out. Like, that's just what you do.
Yeah,
you're a normal person.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's I'm interested to see the effects that these cabinet picks have on the swamp.
Drain the swamp.
I hope that good old Pete can get the Pentagon to pass an audit.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Since it's failed the last 7 of them.
At least, yeah.
Crazy.
That is.
And they don't happen every year either. It's like every 2 years or something like that. So it's been like 15 years since they've passed an audit.
It's been a while.
Or more.
Man. Yeah, it'll be cool. It'll be exciting.
Yeah, I'm interested to see. But anyway, any other politics things? Did I have anything on here?
Semi-related, though, was just the TikTok ban.
Oh, that's politicky. Politicky.
Politicky.
Politicky-talky.
Politicky-talky. I don't know if you heard this, Stephen, but this is the first time that like your favorite platform, your favorite app is just it's going away. Yeah, it's never been done before. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
definitely has never happened to millennials. So
there was one instance that I remember, Trevor. What was the name of the app? It was a very small app. Like 3 people used it.
Yeah, probably. They took it away.
Shoot, it was like a
Do it for the Vine.
Vine, of course. Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that one.
I totally forgot about that one.
That one wasn't like one of the biggest apps ever created and then just taken away.
Dude, Vine was insane. So such good meme content. MySpace was a little bit before our time. MySpace
didn't really. I mean, it's gone away, but it kind of got overtaken by Facebook and kind of died.
Yeah.
More than got taken away.
But the point of like a lot of Gen Z is freaking out. Like, no, they're taking away TikTok, and then millennials are like, first time.
Yeah. What's that? The hanging meme. Yeah.
First time. Come on, man. Like, get over it. Like.
I think it's interesting. I think this is the first time that a social media app of this scale has been banned by the government.
Sure, yeah. Of this scale, definitely. I believe that.
I mean, I think it's the biggest social media app.
You don't remember when they voted to ban Flappy Bird?
Did they vote to ban Flappy Bird? Oh, I knew Flappy Bird was gone off the App Store, but I didn't know it was banned.
No, yeah, I forget what happened to that.
I do remember something happening with that.
You can go into some YouTube deep dive historians on that, probably. But
yeah, it's interesting to me.
They voted to take away TikTok because the U.S. government wasn't allowed in. Like, they weren't allowed to. Yeah, that's the argument I heard. Like, the U.S. government wanted control of TikTok, and they weren't allowed or something.
I have multiple opinions on this.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, they're all, some of them, of my opinions are like pseudo conflicting because on the one hand, I think the banning of TikTok will be a good thing for people's psyches.
Sure.
I think it's,
I'm generally a fan of that.
on the other hand, I think that it's actually going to be a significant blow to the U.S. economy.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of people who make their living on it. There's a lot of small business people who advertise their shop or their product on there and, make their living doing that.
Okay.
And there's the TikTok shop,
Yeah.
which has products that people sell and can promote and things like that. So, I mean, it's not going to be like, we're not going to lose like 10% of our GDP, but it's going to have trickle-down effects to where people have to figure something else out. Right.
Yeah, I think maybe a brief recovery period, but sure.
No, I'm not saying that it's going to be like I'm not saying it's going to be like a Great Depression, 10 years of.
This is it.
It's gonna be 6 or 7 months or something like that while people figure it out, and it'll be fine.
Yeah.
But I do think that it's like a little bit irresponsible of the government to just, and maybe they did take this into account, but like there are people who legitimately make their living off of this app, and not just by making silly videos, but like they're a small knife maker or something like that, and they show you the knife that they've made, and then say, hey, this is my website if you want to buy this, whatever, right?
Sure.
Or hey, I make doodads and doohickeys, like here's my little Etsy page or whatever, right? And they make an extra $10,000 a year, which is substantial, right?
You could say, and this is maybe was part of the reasoning for it. Again, I'm not a political expert. I didn't watch I didn't read the bill, but just because it's China, and China is, I think, an enemy, the CCP is an enemy. Their views are very contrary to the US. That like, okay, you can go to an American company for all of those things, and that would be better. Probably. I have to imagine that was at least some consideration or going through some people's minds as they voted yes on the bill of like, there might be the initial like readjustment period. And some people do make their livelihoods on this, but I'm not saying I like YouTube or Instagram, but those are two other options that are at least American.
I don't love
that as the only argument.
So my opinion is that if the government is doing this just because China is spying on Americans, then the government can go take a fat sack of crap and throw it in their own face.
Yeah.
Because that's the most hypocritical bull crap I've ever heard in my life.
Okay.
Legitimately.
Sure.
Right? Like, first of all, every government spies on every government and all the people of every government.
Yeah.
Right? Second of all, for me personally, why do I care that China, 7,000 miles across this ocean, knows that I liked a TikTok video about a knife?
So it's not you; it's government employees having TikTok.
So if the government says we don't want TikTok on government devices, I am 100% okay with that.
I think they even already tried that, but then there's like still personal devices. I don't know, and then like your Alexas are still listening.
Well, but like this is what I'm saying, right? Like, do they get rid of the Amazon apps? Do they get rid of YouTube and Facebook and all that? It's like, well, those are still spying on you.
Yeah, but again, I that's why I don't love it as the only argument. But at least it's not communists spying on you.
Yeah, so like I said, if it's just the government's phones, I'm okay with them banning TikTok on the government's phones.
Yeah.
That's fair. Like, that's very fair. But, like, why do the rest of us care? Like, for me, the impact of the U.S. government spying on me, my own government, is way worse for me than the Chinese government spying on me.
Okay. Immediately. I see that.
Well, but like for like long term, for the rest of my life, what is China going to do with my information?
I don't know. What is the U.S. government going to do with your information?
A lot of stuff. The Chinese government isn't.
What have they done so far?
Well, what has China done so far?
Yeah.
I mean, that argument goes both ways.
Exactly. Yeah. That's
But the Chinese government is going to have a lot harder of a time knocking on my door to arrest me than the U.S. government will.
They want to arrest you.
Well. Making me disappear.
Again, I don't love it as the only argument, but I do see it as the the us versus them, right? Like, when a war breaks out, the U.S. government will at least be on our side. Very heavy air quotations on that, all right? Like, and that's, and I'm not a staunch conspiracy theorist. I'm not gonna die on that hill. I don't care that much. Ooh, TikTok's gone. Who cares? But like, in a Red Dawn scenario, at least it's America versus China.
Yeah, I don't see this as
it's a very thin argument. I get that.
I just don't. There's not,
and ultimately, I think TikTok being gone is good because people's brains are rotted.
But I 100% agree with that. I 100% agree with that.
I don't think it's going to start a weird precedent of the government just banning everything they don't like.
I don't know,
because again, there's checks and balances. That's it. That's not. It took them this long to ban TikTok, and I think they had a lot of reasonings put into it. I think if Trump doesn't like Facebook, he's not just going to ban Facebook. Like, it just can't happen.
Yeah, but I think I don't know. I'd have to read the Supreme Court just came back with their decision 2 days ago, Thursday or Friday.
A little bit before, because then the House voted on it.
I thought the House had to vote on it before it could be. The House voted on it and passed it, and the Supreme Court upheld it. The Supreme Court can't say this is legal and then they vote on it. They have to vote on it first, and then the Supreme Court has to review it because someone has to bring a suit against it.
Okay. In that scenario, I don't know if like all the justices.
It was unanimous.
Yeah. Okay. I was about to say, do they all write majority, minority opinions? Like when it's a real case.
I think one person writes the majority opinion and the minority opinion, unless someone not abstained. What's the other? Disagreed with other reasoning or whatever it is, right? Or agreed with other reasoning, whatever. But it was a unanimous decision. Mm-hmm. So, but I would have to read what their decision making was on, whether it's the government's ability to restrict companies from speech, or whether it was because it's a foreign entity, or what. I don't know, but I because I think like, ByteDance USA or whatever they're called is like a separate it's an American company now.
Sure,
right?
yeah.
Heavy quotation marks.
American.
But they were saying like, yeah, TikTok, if they divested from TikTok and an American group took it over, it's like, I don't know if that's better.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Facebook and Instagram already have, or Instagram and YouTube already have that. So yeah, I guess there must have been something else in the TikTok like API that they did not like.
Yeah.
That was like too intrusive. And at least we can't prove that the YouTube API is that intrusive or something. That's my guess.
You can for the Amazon one, though.
Right, yeah. Sorry, Alexas are listening to us right now. Actually, we moved the one out of the kitchen.
Yeah. I don't know. It's interesting. It's an interesting little precedent or interesting little thing that they're doing. I don't know. It's right. I don't know if it's... I don't know if... So, like I said, ultimately, regardless of the political happenings, I do think it's going to be a good thing for society.
Get off TikTok, go touch grass.
Exactly, right? Like for sure.
Man.
But I honestly think that about most social medias.
Yeah, it's not the internet. Go outside.
Exactly. Yeah. Except for Reddit. Reddit is beautiful.
Reddit is also a cesspool, but
a curated cesspool.
A curated cesspool of like my fellow nerds. So
I honestly think I was thinking about this last night because the TikTok ban was on my mind.
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking, like, I think Reddit is the best. I don't even know if it's not really a social media site.
It is
It's like it is, but like not at the same time.
It's just a conglomeration of
forums. That's all it is.
Yeah, it's just chat forums.
And I think it is the best. I think it is one of the best apps or best websites ever created.
Their curation seems to work pretty well.
Well, and like
you can tailor it to your needs. Like I just like looking at cool art or cool discussions about my favorite video games.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's what.
And their suggestions always seem to be like relatively good suggestions.
Actually, yeah, I don't know how they do that. Well, probably they're listening to me, but of like, oh, I haven't played this video game in a while. I do want to see some cool things from that
Yeah.
video game. Like,
Well, and it's like even a subreddit you don't follow,
yeah,
where it's like
it gets popped up. Yeah,
it's like, oh, you follow the woodworking subreddit. You also might like the
the
metal carving or metal CNC subreddit.
Right,
It's like,
right.
no, you're right. I would.
Actually, I do. Yeah,
Yeah, this happened to me yesterday. I follow a couple knife maker subreddits and like some things like that. And it's like, you might enjoy the everyday carry subreddit. And I was like looking through it, I was like, this is true.
I might.
And it's just people posting gorgeous like photos of like what they carry every day.
Everyday carry.
And I'm like, this is fantastic. I enjoyed this.
Nice.
You are correct, Reddit.
I might have to join. It'll probably pop up now, but I might have to join that one too.
That
looks fun.
Yeah. And like, there's no like some of them are like some of the subreddits I'm on. It's like I come for the discussion, the technical analysis of X, Y, and Z. And other ones are like I want to see a pretty picture of a bird.
Yes, that's my wife and I. Most of the ones we share are just like this is cool animal video I found.
Have you seen the eye bleach subreddit?
Yeah, that one is funny.
I love that one.
Yeah,
it's so great.
They always have like here's a cute little piglet or whatever.
Yeah, and you're like, no, it is legitimately eye bleach. I love this.
Yes, I want this.
Upvote. Well, and I think the comment section, the threads on it, as soon as you understand how to read them, it's really good. And like
again, for like the similar fans of my video games and stuff, I like reading. I like the discussion.
Well, and they have like the not safe for work filters, which work pretty freaking well.
Yeah.
They have if a message is downvoted too much, it like kind of like it's still there, but it's like scrolled up, so you can only see that it was downvoted a bunch.
Yeah.
But then if you want to read it, you can click on it and open it up, and then
as a whole, I'm generally okay with it.
I think Reddit is the best of the apps.
There's problems with like individual moderation because it's just these like terminally online people that go on power trips. They're like, I moderate this subreddit,
and there are subreddits where it's like just a cesspool of disgusness,
and there's still a lot of bots. That's still an issue,
but you can really like my Reddit now is like exactly what I want to see 99.9% of the time.
That's good. That's pretty good. I'm probably not quite that high yet, but I'm
there's like
join some more things and upvotes.
I've actually had to start like because I was just like upvoting everything I saw.
There's like too much recommendations.
Well, no. I just like okay, like I do like all these, but I should probably be a little bit more judicial with what I upvote because it was literally like this post. I read it. I'm like, oh, this is sick. This is awesome. Upvote. Cute dog puppy video. Oh, yes, love it. Upvote.
Whereas you're like, okay, maybe I don't need to see every cute dog puppy video. I just want them like every now and then.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
But I still, and so it really is like
pit bull pups.
I seriously think that Reddit is my favorite. And also there's no instant gratification aspect of it.
Not really,
like TikTok, right? There's no like you scroll on it, right? If you're on your phone, but it's like you're just reading. Like there might be a picture or like a quick video.
Yeah, a little video.
But it's like
you're just reading.
Yeah, you're just like reading, and like for me, I follow a lot of engineering ones and stuff that, and like a lot of gun engineering related stuff.
I follow a lot of science ones actually. They're pretty fun, like science questions, science memes.
Yeah,
there
are some super solid memes online. On Reddit specifically, but like that one I sent you the other day, was like very niche, but like if you know, and it's like
it's like for that subreddit. Perfect,
But I'm like reading this description. It's a paragraph, paragraphs or paragraphs or paragraphs of some guy. He's like, I have this problem with this gun or whatever, right? And it's like you're going through it, and then at the end you go through the comments and like either people are retarded, or there's like some like super insightful comments. You're like, oh, that's genius.
You've seen the joke or the meme these days of like Google like is not as useful as it used to be back when we were kids, like because there's the AI and
the AI is so wrong all the time.
AI written articles are like the top search results because of all the SEO, and then just like the Google AI tells you, hey, we summarized everything we found. Here you go. It's all worthless. So when you have a question, you need to solve something out. You need to solve something. You just put Reddit at the end of your search bar. Like, take me to some real people, and then most of the time, you find what you're looking for.
Yeah, and like the aggregate of people upvoting a thing, an answer to a question, is usually like
means it's more
true.
more
Right?
generally.
It's a little bit of a
hard to fake the numbers.
yeah,
on that,
exactly.
so even with bots, like you can't
Yeah,
fake that amount of interaction.
yeah. Reddit is fantastic.
Yeah, well done.
We'll see what happens with TikTok. I'm interested to see. Selfishly, I'm sad it's going away because I spend way too much time on Reddit.
Well,
Unselfishly, I'm very happy it's going away because I spend way too much time, not Reddit, on TikTok.
Yeah.
Because I spend way too much time on TikTok.
There
So
you
like, there's two sides of me. There's two wolves inside of me. One likes TikTok, the other doesn't like TikTok.
Yes.
Anyway,
Think of how much extra time you'll have. You'll be so productive.
I will have much extra time.
Yeah, nice. You can play video games with that time. You can play Magic the Gathering and start thinking about the next Magic the Gathering set and brewing decks.
Kaladesh, just kidding, not Kaladesh.
Not Kaladesh. Avishkar is coming out. We got some cool new cards here today. Make sure I have them all. Yes, I do have them all. There's like 4 cards spoiled so far, and then they did a couple. They just spoiled like the borders. They just spoiled the art of a couple others. But as far as the actual real cards to share, there was the series of Gear Hulks from the original Kaladesh. But I think there was one in each color. This one, I don't know if they're doing a whole cycle, but they're doing a multicolored Gear Hulk.
Oh, very cool.
Which is cool. So they're these big, like...
They're not... The name is Gear Hulk, but their creature type is Dreadnought, right?
They're constructs. So they're big artifact creatures that are colored. So they had, like, the Torrential Gear Hulk is the blue one. The Noxious Gear Hulk's the black one. And they all do really strong Enter the Battlefield effects is their thing. And then usually just, like, a good body after that. The red one...
7/7.
The red one's pretty good because he draws you some cards. The black one kills a creature and you gain some life. Those two are probably the best. Oh no, the white one was like a board wipe. The white one was like a board wipe. Insatiable Gear Hulk? I don't remember. But they have a green-white one. It's going to be a mythic, so again, there might not be enough mythics. I don't know if they're doing more. But at least this one, the green-white Bright Glass Gear Hulk, seems pretty good. Seems worth mentioning. It's a 2 green and 2 white. It's kind of a restricted mana cost for 4 mana, 4/4. Artifact creature construct. He's got first strike and trample. Seems all right. And then when he enters the battlefield, you can search your library for up to 2 artifact, creature, or enchantment cards with mana value 1 or less and put them into your hand. So you can tutor 2 things, 2 1-mana things to your hand. And then after that, you got a 4/4 body with first strike and trample.
In green and white.
Green and white, yes, which is already pretty good colors for tutoring things. White has a lot, and green has like the creature ones. So artifacts, creatures, and enchantments. Mana value 1 or less.
And you get 2 of them for 4 mana. It's pretty good.
Bare minimum, you get your Soul Ring, like... in command.
Artifact, comma, creatures, comma, enchantments.
Yep. 2 of them, mana value 1 or less each, not total. So... if there's a really good 1-mana enchantment you want to go get and a 1-mana creature for your combo or something. Or
Actually sounds pretty solid.
Or you just get 2, you just get a Soul Ring. And,
a Llanowar Elves and a...
Yeah.
Rootscale is a 2 mana. What other 1 mana? I mean, any other elf.
Any other elf. So, it's nice. You can get the artifact lands with that. If you want, because they have mana value 0. So it's not ramp per se, but again, it's versatile with artifact, creature, or enchantment, mana value 1 or less.
A green-white artifact deck would be kind of fun.
Yeah, it's not super common, even though white's good with artifacts. Green is normally seen as the like anti-artifact color. So Bright Glass Gear Hulk seemed worth mentioning from the new set.
Yeah, for sure. That's kind of cool.
Pretty cool.
Are they doing all of the color combinations?
I don't know yet.
Oh, yeah, because they've only spoiled like 4 cards.
They are bringing vehicles back. They spoiled one there that looked kind of meh.
I'm surprised they're not waiting until the Space Racer, Tron, whatever, the one coming in the middle of the year.
I thought this was the one. Isn't this one called Aether Drift? It's like a death race.
I thought that was the next set. I thought that one was coming out mid-year.
What is this one called? I thought it was Aether Drift.
I could be wrong. I definitely could be wrong.
What are they calling it? Click.
You're right. This is Aether Drift.
Aether Drift.
My bad.
On the plane of Kaladesh.
So this is the racing one then.
The racing one, because
That's
it's
stupid.
It's Mario Kart across 3 planes. It's mainly on Kaladesh and the Egyptian plane, Amonkhet, and the third plane. I don't remember.
I see. I was mixing it up with Tarkir
Oh, okay. Yeah, we're going back to Tarkir.
in April.
Yeah.
My bad.
That's fine. Then the other cool guy who I like, but he might be a smidgen too expensive for Commander personally, but
Dollar-wise or cost-wise?
cost-wise, yeah. He's Duretti, who's a popular goblin-like engineer in Magic. I don't love what they did with the art, but representation or whatever. They put Duretti in a wheelchair. He was never handicapped before. I'm sure they'll write it into the story and they wanted some... He's the head goblin engineer, but now he's in a wheelchair, sure. Steven has no comments. Duretti Rocketeer Engineer. He's a 5-mana star 5. Because his power is equal to the greatest mana value among artifacts you control. So I almost wish maybe that was each artifact you control, but I can understand why they did that. Just unfortunate that he's 0 if you don't have any artifacts. But
Well, even if you have like a Soul Ring, he's a 1 mana.
he's 1.
Or
one
sorry,
power.
1 power.
But he has an enter and attack trigger, which is pretty good. It's when he enters or attacks, you choose target artifact card in your graveyard. You may sacrifice an artifact, and then if you do, you return the chosen card to the battlefield. So that
that could be really powerful.
Yeah, that amount of artifact recursion, any artifact, you just got to sacrifice any other artifact, which can be a token or something dumb.
A food,
Some 0 cost thing. Sacrifice that, and then you get back your giant artifacts, and it's recurring. I mean, enters and attacks every turn.
Yeah.
You can blink them to get more, like...
And red goblin decks have a stupid amount of haste enablers.
Yeah, so that I like, artifact recursion isn't anything new, but it's like unbound, unlimited, get anything back from the graveyard.
Yeah. Well, and you could even like, you could have like 2 artifacts that have ETB triggers. And then just keep, every turn you just switch
keep cycling
and
them.
switch and like...
It's very, very easy to do. So
yeah.
He's just 5 mana is like, my only thing, like, I'd love that effect at like 4 mana. I feel like just getting it online a little bit.
But he's hard to kill though at 5 toughness.
5 toughness is harder to kill, yeah.
So I think it's...
And are people going to want to blow their removal on this or on the big threat?
Yeah.
If you kill the big threat, he might just get it back next turn. So, but this guy is just... If he's just a lightning rod for removal, sometimes that's good enough, so...
Yeah.
Duretti, the Rocketeer. And
5 mana to get rid of someone's counterspell.
Yeah, right. Get rid of, and as you said, at 5 toughness, he's harder to kill than you think. So,
yeah, it's true.
Significant removal there. So
it's true.
I liked it. We are just about out of time, so we can probably jump to the Magic card of the week after those spoilers.
Yeah, I think that's great. You got that right.
I do have the Magic card of the week right here. It's an old one. It's not too phenomenal, but I was looking at it for Pauper, where I was like, okay, I wonder if I can brew something with this, because this guy seems cool. Even for a common, he is the Okiba Gang Shinobi.
Okiba Gang Shinobi.
That's right. You got to highlight the Rat Ninjas where you can.
Of course. I love the Rat Ninjas.
This might be the second Rat Ninja on our Magic card of the week, honestly. I'm pretty sure we've talked about at least one before. But he's called the Okiba Gang Shinobi, but there's 2 different Rat Ninjas, and I don't know, they got some sick weapons, just like a variety of ninja-themed weapons. The one's got the katana, the other guy's got a bladed dagger.
That's very cool. One
in the back is like a flail Kusarigama type thing. Cool looking Rat Ninjas. He's a 5 mana 3/2, which is not phenomenal, but he's got the ninjutsu for 4 mana. So you bounce a unblocked attacker to your hand, you sneak this guy in. Most ninjutsus have the combat damage trigger. So when Okiba Gang Shinobi deals combat damage to a player, that player discards 2 cards. Not as strong in Commander, but in Pauper, it gets you thinking. So you can bounce back something worthwhile that you might want to recast anyway.
For an ETB.
So that's kind of not card draw per se, but it is card advantage.
Mm-hmm.
And then you make them lose 2 cards.
Yeah, I feel like ninjutsu and Pauper would be good because any ETB or leaves the battlefield effects could be really not abused, but like useful.
Very useful. And Pauper is very important to like have a lot of resources because it's not as quick as other competitive formats. So it's often whoever has more resources can win the game because the games do go a little bit longer than other formats on average, unless you're playing hot dogs and kill them in 3 turns. But for the most
that deck is so much fun for me. Where it's just like I'm looking at my hand, and I'm like, do I have lethal? I have 2 mana on the board, and I think I can kill him in 1 turn.
Right. But generally, resources are very important. So this guy giving your unblocked attacker back to hand and them down to is like net 3 cards in your favor, basically.
Yeah.
So. And the art's cool, so I had to highlight.
Fair enough. Yeah, fair enough. Alrighty. Thank you for watching this episode.
See ya. Till next time. Just in case you made it this long. There are no arms on the couch.
I was good this time.
Yeah.
I
only did it a couple times.
Yeah. There you go, Ryan.
Thanks.
Thank you for watching this week's episode of the 5G Podcast.
Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to see more.
And we'll see you next time.
Thanks.